Hello, my beloved seller. I know the time we're living in. The fuel surcharge, the Amazon is stripping away the credit card from the PPC payment. Yeah, it's hard. I get that. Nonetheless, at PROPAMP.AI, we're still implementing some cool features, and in this video, I would like to show you what we have achieved recently, what we implemented. First of all, let's have an overview of a performance. So in the Mission Control Center, we have the weekly performance out here, but you can specify the period whatever you like. In this particular case, I would like to show you our performance in United States. However, we can plug in into any combinations of countries, 2 countries, all of the countries, 3 countries, it doesn't matter. And the currency, you can choose whatever currency you want. But anyway, so in the main dashboard, we have a nice and beautiful Sankey chart that gives you the brief overview of how actually Amazon selling is making. Like, how is it? Like the net profit 12%, the gross profit 12% this week. It's relatively less than any other week. Any other week would be like roughly 20%, 25% was last week, but mainly because there was a week for the monthly storage fee charge, so that's why the gross profit is less than usual. Moreover, later we will implement the expenses. You see the expenses are zeros here, so by this week we're going to add the expenses for the March, so we will get the net profit for this period. But anyway, so you see how it goes, you see how it works. And now what I want to show you is how we remodeled the purchase order dashboard. So we go to the purchase orders, and what we see here is a nice dashboard. First of all, you can see all of your purchase orders in table form as usual, or you can see them in the dashboard. And why is the dashboard is super handy and super cool? First of all, you can choose whatever period you want. You want to choose like 12 months, and you're gonna check like how many purchase orders, how many like units have you purchased within a year or 12 months. But by default, we put the 6 months period because the cash conversion cycle in our particular case about like 90 days, like 3 months. So by the time frame of the 6 months, we can see like how much we're gonna generate, like more or less within more than a quarter, like 5 months, 6 months. Anyway, this Sankey chart is divided into different sections. From the left, it is the suppliers. I'm going like from the left to the right. The suppliers, then it shows the ASINs, the SKU that you've been purchasing. Then it shows the purchase order out of which, the purchase orders from which ASINs it is comprised of. You see these tentacles spreading out from this purchase order? Essentially, it means that this purchase order contains like this amount of units, and if you want to see exactly what kind of ASINs you purchased, you just click on that. You just go to this purchase order, and you see the whole quantity and all of the price. But anyway, yeah, I hope it all makes sense, right? It's straightforward. Then it shows the country where your purchase order is distributed to. Why country? Because Amazon is not giving you, I mean, before you're creating the shipping, you don't know how much unit you are able to ship. Like, you know, roughly, because you have your capacity manager, but the precise number will be determined after you confirm the shipment and after you confirm different fulfillment centers. So it's super important to negotiate the price with a freight forwarder to which particular country you're going to ship and how much quantity you're going to ship. I mean, at least that's how we work, because we can negotiate the price and terms in advance in order to book the margin in advance. So here we have a distribution of the countries. Then we kind of like group all of those shipments together and just showing how much units we're going to ship. But we can ungroup them by showing the exact FBA shipments. It's not super convenient to look at it, even though you can zoom it out. It's not super convenient the way to look at those, so that's why we created the grouping. And finally, you can see the particular fulfillment center where you're shipping those units. Another cool feature is that you see, like, we ordered 9,700, but to Amazon is distributed only 6,708, which means that we have the almost 3,000 left to allocate. What it means is that we have not created the shipment yet. Those units are still stored at the warehouse, whether it's going to be like 3PL. In our particular case, it's the supplier's warehouse. But here with this draft shipments that we can create within purchase orders, we can always keep track on how much unit and which particular ASINs are waiting to be distributed. I'll show you in more details how it all works within particular purchase order. Let's go to an example like this one, purchase order 188. It's a huge order that we place with our suppliers. There are several suppliers involved, 2 in particular, and overall we ordered like 2,500 units for like 36,000 almost. And you have the volume of the units and weight and everything. So you have all of your details to negotiate the price with the freight forwarder. But anyway, the thing that I wanted to show you is that we implemented the unit allocation within the purchase order. So here, after you create the shipment in Amazon, you see those shipments? After you create them in Amazon, you link them to your purchase order, and we automatically distribute it, like create the Sankey chart and showing you how the distribution works, to which country you're actually shipping those particular units, and how much units you have left not distributed. You see here draft 1 and draft 2, and yeah, and that's it. So that there is almost 500 units unallocated. They linked to different draft shipments, and those shipments, I'm going to show you right in a moment, those shipments might be linked to different purchase order. Why is that? Because most of the time it doesn't make sense to ship like a really small batch of goods. The freight forwarders, they will charge you more, or they will just reject your shipment because it's like super expensive to ship like 2 CBM of goods. So that's why we implemented the possibility to link the shipment to different purchase orders, meaning that you can have, like, let's say 3 purchase orders. You distribute the particular amount of units from these orders within fulfillment centers and FBA shipments, and you have some residual amount. So you have a couple of orders with a residual amount to be distributed. So you then can create one shipment out of those orders. You see here, this particular shipment, it's a draft shipment. Why is it draft? Because we haven't confirmed it yet within Amazon, but once we do, it automatically creates a link to all of those purchase orders. And here you are allocating of how much units in particular from this order you're gonna take. And now when you go to let's say order 189, you can see that here within unit allocation you also have a draft shipment, and this draft shipment is linked to different purchase orders. I hope it all makes sense. I mean, for supply chain manager who is like watching this video, it definitely will make sense. People who are not dealing with the creation of the shipment and allocation of units across different fulfillment centers and different suppliers, they might be ambiguous and not super comprehensive. But anyway, we have this ability. It's super handy, so you cannot it's super hard to lose traction of the residual undistributed units, because essentially what you always hear the unallocated quantity, and you just click on that and you just see in which particular purchase order and how much units you are still waiting to be allocated. You might watching this video and asking yourself, why did you do all of that? Like, why do you do that? Why do you need such a peculiar information regarding your shipments and all of that, regarding like how much a residual quantity you have? Because anyway, compared to the whole purchase order, the residual quantity is minute. It doesn't make that much. And this is the answer why. We have another Sankey chart where we essentially calculating the cost per unit in order to correctly show the unit economics in the mission control center. You see how everything is linked together? So what I mean by that is, like, when we go to the particular ASIN and we click on the cost of goods history, we see the timeline, like the graph rather, of how much your cost of goods sold is increasing. So those candles, just so you understand, those candles are each shipments that we deliver to Amazon. And it's historical timeline. It shows you which period you are like increasing your COGS, which period you're decreasing your COGS. And you only are able to do that only when you track all of your expenses that you incur within your purchase order and within your shipments. So that's why we have those summaries that shows the particular COGS of each unit, so that we can, in a mission control center here, calculate the correct COGS of each unit across all of the marketplaces. Because you see this nice graph, it works not only in the United States. You see Canada, you see the Canadian, you see the United Kingdom, you see the UK history of the COGS. So every country is different. Every country has different tax settings, the VAT, sales tax, GST, HST, and whatnot. So for Amazon sellers, it's essential to keep track on COGS and keep track on the inventory. If you made this so far, thank you so much. Please share this video to anyone who's making e-commerce, who's managing his Amazon store. Hit the link to PROPAMP.AI. We'll be gladly to have them on board. I will personally show how this beautiful machine works. It's super comprehensive once you implement the first couple of purchase orders and shipments, and once you do, you just hit the template and you don't need more spreadsheet, you don't need more CSV files and reports. You have everything in here. All right, thank you so much. See you next one. Bye.